Hello everybody, I'm your brother 9 and welcome back to Sonic Adventure DX. In the last episode we took care of the end of Amy's story. And in this episode we're going to be taking care of the trials for not just Amy but also Knuckles because we haven't done his yet, and I decided I'd put them into one nice double episode together with Amy's trials. They're both decently alright. I figured I would speed these up as well, just like all the others. They don't have a lot of stages, so it shouldn't be too long, but there are both of them, so I guess it'll be a little bit longer, but I don't really have anything else to talk about right now. Let's get to this speed up. Alright, so first off we have his B missions. His B missions are really easy. It's just find the emeralds without touching any of the glowy red hint ball orb things. Yeah, that was a great way of describing them. Just don't touch the hints and you'll be good. Finding the emeralds is super fast. Now, his C mission, or not his C missions, his A missions are a little bit more difficult. They can be really difficult if you just kind of try to go about them in a normal way, try to find all the emeralds in 1 minute, because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to find all the emeralds in 1 minute. And if you go about it regularly, you'll have a horrible time. These will be some of the hardest trials you do in the game. However, what you can do is you can go around the whatever stage it is, find where all the emeralds are, and then reset without touching a single emerald. If you do that, the emeralds will stay in the exact same places when you first found them. As long as you don't touch any of them, then when you reset, you'll restart from the very beginning, and you can go back through the stage with a 0-minute timer and then find all the emeralds, like I did right there. I'll be doing that for all of these stages, so it's honestly pretty much the same thing throughout each of his stages. It's just find the emeralds without the hint balls, then in the A mission, find all the emeralds, don't touch any of them, restart, and then get to all the emeralds in the fastest way. It's actually pretty easy, it's pretty simple, nothing too fancy or anything about that. In Casinopolis, I kind of mess around for a little bit because I can't find this very first emerald because I'm chilling over here by Sonic's shoe for a while, and I didn't realize that giant gold statue can be actually like destroyed if you hit the left foot of Sonic's giant gold statue. It'll break down and collapse and crumble and everything. I did not know that until I was supposed to get that emerald that's in his foot. I played this stage quite a few times and I had never had to do that before, so it was a whole new revelation. I'm about to do it right here. Yeah, see? Just like that. I had no idea you could do that. So, I don't know, it was really cool. That stage, Casinopolis, has opened up more and more to me every single time I've played it. Red Mountain can be a little more difficult because it's a really big stage. There's a lot of places to go, and even when you're trying to do the 1 minute timer thing, it can be a little hard because there's a lot of flying, and if your emeralds are super far apart, then it's kind of hard to get to them. Even if you do know where they are, it's kind of hard. It could be hard to get to them within a minute. So if you do have a kind of situation where their emeralds are really far apart, and even though you know where they are, you can't get to them within a minute, all you have to do is quit the mission, come back in, and you'll get a new set of emeralds, as opposed to what you originally had in that stage. And hopefully when you reset, that they're in a better place, a closer place that you can find them. I never had that problem. I managed to find all my emeralds in decently close places, so it was pretty good. Another thing about this stage, Red Mountain, is that you can find emeralds that are in the ground, so you might have to dig for some of them. I totally forgot you could do that for some of my emeralds, but it turned out I needed to dig for both missions. So yeah, I don't know. There's not much else to say other than that, so I don't know. There's really nothing too much to say about these trials. They're really easy if you know what to do, and they're not much anything else. I guess I could talk about Knuckles himself. And oh, look at that, we got Sonic Spinball. Yeah, at 80 emeralds you get Sonic Spinball. Here in Lost World's actually one of the easier ones. I think it's probably the easiest other than, what was the first one? Speed Highway. I think it's the easiest other than Speed Highway, just because the room isn't very big, and the emeralds don't have, like, hard hiding places. There will be a lot in enemies, so you kind of got to make sure you know where the enemies are, and some of the enemies are the stupid little Kecleon. I was going to call them Kecleon. I guess they kind of are like Kecleons, but what are Kecleons modeled after? Chameleons? Isn't that what they are? Yeah, chameleons. The little chameleon Emilies. Wow, the chameleon Emilies are... They kind of disappear and everything, so it can be difficult to grab your emeralds if that's the case. But if It's not really bad whatsoever. I'm pretty sure I get through this A mission in like 34 seconds. So yeah, super easy. Let's see this. Yep, 34 seconds. 34:60, no problem. That's almost half the time that you needed. Skydeck can be a little bit harder if you have to change the tilt quite a few times. That can actually be quite a bit of a problem for the A mission. So if that does happen to you, just quit, reset, get new emeralds. I got really lucky with my set. We'll see it here in a bit. For right now, I'm just kind of trying to find all the other emeralds. I see this one has to be tilted, so I have to go back. And I know the first one is somewhere back here, but I couldn't actually figure out where it was supposed to be. And it's actually really stupid because it's in one of those three the doors on the left, but I don't realize that because every time I get close to the door, I don't get close enough for it to show yellow, so I don't actually think it's in one of them until like right there. I was oh, it's in that door. I'm so stupid. And then that also kind of made me figure out what I'm supposed to do with the little rod thing. I think I figured out how that's supposed to work. I'm pretty sure the way it works is if it's already tilted to one way, you go to one of the other two sides that you want to take it from, press B, and Knuckles will automatically shift it back to the center, and then you press the direction you want to change it to. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. That seemed to be the kind of flawless way I managed to get it to work, so if you're having problems with that, that's how you can do it. And then on my A mission here, I got super lucky because two of my emeralds are in doors right next to each other that would be on the same tilt. So I was just like, oh yes, this is so good. I don't have to do any other tilts. I don't have to worry about anything. And then that last emerald was right in the middle. So I got super lucky with this one. It can be a little bit harder. You might need to reset, but I didn't because I'm the luckiest Knuckles of them all. And those are all of Knuckles' trials. Yeah, they're pretty simple, pretty much the same thing the whole way around. But now we have another character to do today, because I decided I would do two characters, and that character is Amy.
Select a stage.
Alright, so Amy's stages, her first one is find 50 rings and clear the stage. It's really simple, especially for Twinkle Park here, because over here in this little corner, you'll find 3 question mark capsules, and they can hold anywhere from like 1, 5, 10, 20, or 40, and you're pretty likely to get a ton of rings from them. I almost always get a 40 in that group, so it's really easy to get 50 rings. Now the hard part of her stages is avoiding all of these stupid spike balls and all the enemies, because Amy's just so slow, it's hard to avoid enemies. The Twinkle Park is probably her hardest trial, simply for this last part right here, trying to get up this stupid hill with all those spike balls. Oh, it's so hard. I reset several times trying to do that because I kept hitting the stupid little spike balls at the end. It was so annoying, but I'm pretty sure I found out that you can do a fancy spin triple deluxe above the spike balls, so you don't have to worry about them if you have a good momentum and you manage to combine combo jumps. If you do some combo jumps up that hill, you can definitely get over the spike balls. Her A stage is just get to the goal within a certain time, and it's really not hard in Twinkle Park. They can be a little bit harder for her in general, just because Amy's a slower character, but if you keep your momentum by jumping, you know exactly where you're supposed to go, and you do some triple jump deluxes, then you'll have no problem getting through the stage. Hot Shelter here is actually pretty easy in terms of keeping your rings throughout the whole thing. There's nowhere like super special that you can find a bunch of rings in one place. There's just a bunch of rings throughout the entire stage itself. And you can see right there I actually did a little skip. I'll talk about that later when we get to the A mission because I have a lot to talk about for this stage. But yeah, there's not a lot of rings in just one specific place. So really it's just grabbing a bunch of rings as you go throughout the mission and avoiding enemies. It's actually really easy to avoid enemies because there aren't a lot of enemies in this stage. There's just a few scattered here, there, and really most of it's puzzles and a little bit of platforming as well. So as long as you just kind of keep going, you really won't have to worry about anything. The most, I don't know what I was going to say right there. The hardest part about this stage is zero. If you don't have any kind of shield and you're trying to put all these stupid little colored blocks into their places and zeros around, it can be a little bit of a hard time trying to dodge him. Just keep hitting him with your hammer, grab the blocks, and then hit him again with your hammer, grab a block, go put it in, hit him again with your hammer. It's not too hard if you get him into a nice good pattern of just hitting with your hammer, grabbing the block, putting it in, hit him with your hammer again. Otherwise, the stage is pretty simple for the most part, and don't forget to do your little trick shot into the balloon at the end. Gotta have that super MLG moment. Now, for her for her A mission of the, or I guess it's A trial, her A trial of Hot Shelter, it's a little harder because you have to go through the entire stage in 6.5 minutes. It can get pretty tight, especially if you're not very good at keeping up your momentum and you don't know where everything is in the stages. I actually had a really good run because I just happened to be doing super good and everything. I don't know, I did really well. There's a nice little skip up here I'm gonna do. Instead of going up onto, going down from here and going up onto the other one, you can actually do a triple jump deluxe right there and jump across, so you don't have to go onto the second gear. That saves a lot of time, especially because waiting for the gears just takes forever. In fact, it saves so much time, I decided to try out this whole different path, because I never went on this path before. I never took this rocket, and I wanted to see what it did, and it doesn't do much. Don't take the rocket, just go up, just hit that bouncer and go up the regular way, because there's nothing fancy that the rocket gives you. It gives you some rings, so I guess you can take it on the B mission if you really want to, but there's really no point to do so, because it just takes a lot more time, and you can definitely get some rings wherever you are in the mission. But we're almost coming up to the end of this stage. Finally, goodness, I actually had to redo this several times because I did the B mission, I got to the end, and I only had 39 rings, because I was just trying to route a way to get through the stage without having to worry about any rings, and it was annoying. So I had to do that stage way more times than I needed to. But now we're on the final egg. The final egg is super easy in terms of the B mission. All you have to do is get to the end, because at the end there is a kind of special hidden area that has a bunch of capsules. It has a bunch of question mark capsules. I think it's 4 question mark capsules. It might be 5. There's a bunch of them, and you're almost guaranteed to get a 40 and maybe a 10 or a 20 in there. You'll see if you come around behind the balloon. Yeah, there's 4 capsules here, and I got a 40, a 5, and a 1. So I wouldn't have gotten 50, but I at least got enough to get above. As long as you have a couple of rings when you go back there, you're pretty much guaranteed to win the B mission. Now the A mission can be a little bit harder. You want to make sure that you're jumping, keeping your momentum. As you can see right there, I was jumping down that whole hallway. You want to jump as much as you can because it's her best way for momentum, and it's easier to take turns if you're jumping all the time. Now, the hardest part is this last part. You can get really unlucky with these doors, and if you do get unlucky with the doors, just restart, and you'll restart from where that last checkpoint is, and you can go through the actual door that you're supposed to make sure that you don't spend all that extra time going through wrong doors. But that is everything. Those are all the trials I wanted to take care of. It's a pretty short episode. Tomorrow we'll be heading towards the Chow, because I have a tiny little Chow update that I want to do. At least I'm pretty sure that's what we're doing tomorrow. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what we're doing. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please click that like button. If you want to see more of my stuff, you can always click the subscribe button. I hope I will see you in the next video, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching.